What's up YouTube? Welcome back. Hope you've been able to keep up with all the cool Rebel Moon stuff coming out. If not, head over to my channel so you can check out some updates, and to stay updated, make sure you subscribe. The topic I'm discussing today, I'm a little late covering on the channel. I did see it when it was, all a buzz and all of that, so I know it's been going on, but I wasn't sure if I was going to cover it on the channel or not. However, since it first was being discussed, it has kind of since evolved, so I'm glad I'm going to cover it now, because now I can cover all the bases about it. Probably have seen this, especially if you're on Twitter or social media. Some old Facebook posts resurfaced from James Gunn Facebook account talking about Christopher Nolan's Batman movies and Tim Burton's Batman movies. Now, he had a lot to say, so we're going to go through it and then we'll talk about what's going on with it now. People get upset when something they consider intrinsic to a comic book character changes when adapted for a film. I get this. I think there's a basic misunderstanding of the story or the character when the comic is transferred to film. I still hate how in the first Batman movie, the Joker was revealed as the murderer of Bruce Wayne's parents, for instance. As you see there, okay, that's from 2016. The Tim Burton Batman is poorly written. The soundtrack is the worst work of everyone involved, and it is absolutely one of the most boring films ever. Not only that, but the reveal of the Joker as the killer of Bruce Wayne's parents spits in the face of Batman's origin and is the nullification of the bottomless thirst for vengeance that necessarily drives Batman. It pretends not to be campy, but it is completely so, and on top of everything, the dark creature of the night can't even move his effing neck. Gimme an effing break. It's a ridiculous, awful film. Burton's Planet of the Apes is genius in comparison. So, clearly he is not a fan of that movie. And I think the next one is like a response to, I think, someone who probably commented on the post, because he seems to refer to someone in the comment. But I don't actually have that comment from that person. All I've seen is James Gunn's posts. He said, Keaton did have a ridiculous voice. That said, I'd rather put up with a ridiculous voice than with horrible action sequences and acting barely worthy of the Batman TV show. B, I have no idea how you can think that the Burton Batman has more similarities with Moore or Miller's Batman and Joker than Nolan's does. And listen, I have problems with both of Nolan's films. I don't think either one is classic, and I don't even really think Batman Begins is good. But they're far superior to the first Batman. C, none of your defenses get by the fact that despite being the first cinematic dark take on Batman, so what? Stallone's Judge Dredd was the first dark take on Judge Dredd. The movie is awful. And he had another thing to add about the Joker. Oh yeah, and Jack Nicholson as the Joker is Jack Nicholson in The Shining with shitty clown makeup. F you everyone involved with that travesty. So he obviously made that very clear. Yes, everyone, no matter if they're involved in entertainment or show business or with their director or whatever, no matter what, everyone's entitled to their own opinion about movies. Just because he's the head of DC now doesn't mean he loves every single thing that has ever come from DC. That's obviously not realistic to expect just because he's the head of DC. However, it's not a very good look. That doesn't really make people super excited, I don't think, for him to be the head of DC when you see stuff like that. Yes, it's from a long time ago. Yes, people have their own opinions. Like I said, you're entitled to feel however you want to feel about movies that have come from, from whenever. But being a filmmaker, and you would think he'd have a little bit more respect for fellow filmmakers. I think that's the problem with it, not necessarily how he feels about it. It wasn't constructive criticism and just stating his opinion in a professional, respectful way. You know what I mean? Especially a filmmaker that is in the same business, talking about fellow filmmakers, and very respected ones at that. And, people put these movies on a pedestal. I understand that there are people who are like, this movie's overrated, that movie's overrated. Absolutely. Everyone has opinions about, movies that are dubbed classics. I'm sure we all have a list of classic movies that we all think are overrated, and that's perfectly fine. But since he is in the same business, you would think that he would kind of at least be more respectful about the way he talks about other directors' movies. And especially on a public forum, And now that he's the head of DC, I think that's the only reason these are probably resurfacing. I'm sure that's the only reason people are talking about this right now, because they are from a long time ago. Now, since these have resurfaced, this is where it gets, His personal Facebook has been deactivated. Since these came to light and people are talking about them a great deal, and since it has been deactivated, This is James Gunn's response. Okay? He posts a screenshot of what looks to be a message from the Facebook security team saying that his account has been hacked. Okay. And in the caption, he said, "What happens?" And then the broad assumptions made by certain sites. I haven't been on Facebook in so long, I don't even know how to answer the questions to get back on. Okay. Is he saying that his account was hacked and they deactivated it? Or is he saying that his account was hacked way back when these Facebook posts were posted? Either way, it doesn't make sense. Because on one argument, why would someone hack your Facebook to deactivate it? That doesn't make any sense. And, you know, that'd be very convenient timing, by the way. Secondly, if he's saying that his account was hacked at the time that these posts were made, that was a very long time ago. So why would you still have a message from Facebook saying that your account was hacked in 2016 or 2012? Doesn't make any sense. Either way, it doesn't make sense. I just think his first instinct is to lie or to make some kind of excuse for things that don't seem to be favorable to him or paint him in a good light. This doesn't mean anything, in my opinion. If you're saying that I didn't deactivate my account, someone else hacked my account and deactivated it. Okay, what does that have to do with the posts that people are talking about? And if you're saying someone hacked into my account and posted those things, well, people can see when they were posted. So the date, that doesn't make any sense either. Because either someone posted someone hacked into your account all those years ago and posted it. Why would that be relevant now? Why would you still have a message saying that your account was hacked? And why would they be coming to light right now? If that was the case, if all those years ago your account was hacked and someone posted those, wouldn't you have known about it then and wouldn't you have deleted them? Either way, it doesn't make any sense, whether he's saying his account was hacked now or back then. Either way, it doesn't make sense. I think he just is always trying to make an excuse for things that don't, make him look good. Instead of just owning up and saying, yes, okay, I apologize for trashing those movies. I'm not a fan of them, which is fine, but I should have been more respectful towards my fellow, filmmakers. And, I'm a fan of the character. I'm a fan of Batman. Whatever. Posting that doesn't, I just think it's laughable and it's ridiculous. And I think it's kind of funny that, Warner Brothers puts people in charge of DC who have like a stroke of jerk in them. They give all the creative freedom to the people who seem to just not be likable, who seem to treat people badly on set, who trash other filmmakers' work. The Dark Knight trilogy has kind of been the standard for Warner Brothers for a long time, not just in this genre of film, not just in comic book movies, but just Warner Brothers films in general. And, even Christopher Nolan got fed up with Warner Brothers. We saw what happened with Zack Snyder at Warner Brothers, but then these other, James Gunn and Joss Whedon, they have Warner Brothers on their knees for them. And just, oh, here, James Gunn, take over, do whatever. Hello, you're not even gonna, pay attention to these people's, how they are as a person, their personality, how they treat other people, how they work with other people, how they treat fellow creators and talk about them publicly, unapologetically. He lies, clearly. He thinks people don't have receipts. He thinks that as long as it's coming straight from him, people should believe it, but we can clearly see the post just ridiculous. But thank you guys for watching. Check out the links in the description. Don't forget to check out the short section if you're interested in that area of the channel. Thank you guys for all the support. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and we will see you next time.